A Gest of Robyn Hode, the 7th Fytte, 354–417, by Frank Sidgwick. Argument. The king, coming with a great array to Nottingham to take Robin Hood in the night, and finding nothing but a great scarcity of deer, is wondrous wroth, and promises the knight's lands to anyone who will bring him his head. For half a year the king has no news of Robin. At length, at the suggestion of a forester, he disguises himself as an abbot and 5 of his men as monks, and goes into the greenwood. He is met and stopped by Robin Hood, gives up £40 to him, and alleges he is a messenger from the king. Thereupon Robin entertains him and his men on the king's own deer, and the outlaws hold an archery competition, Robin smiting those that miss. At his last shot, Robin himself misses, and asks the abbot to smite him in his turn. The abbot gives him such a buffet that Robin is nearly felled. On looking more closely, he recognizes the king, of whom he and his men ask pardon on their knees. The king grants it, on condition that they will enter his service. Robin agrees, but reserves the right to return to the greenwood if he mislikes the court. This Fytte is based on the story, extremely common and essentially popular, especially in England, of a meeting between a king in disguise and one of his subjects. Doubtless there was a ballad of Robin Hood and the king, but the only one we possess, the king's disguise and friendship with Robin Hood, is a late and a loose paraphrase of this Fytte and the next. The commonest stories and ballads of this type in English are the King and the Barker, i.e. Tanner, King Edward IV and the Tanner of Tamworth, King James and the Tinker, and King Henry II. And the Miller of Mansfield. Usually the point of the story is the lack of ceremony displayed by the subject, and the royal good humor and largesse of the king. There is only an arbitrary division between Fyttes 7 and 8, and 1 or 2 other points will be discussed in introducing the next and last Fytte, the 7th Fytte 354. The king came to Nottingham, with knighties and Greta Araya, for to take that gentle knight and Robin Hode, and yf he may. 355. He asked men of that country after Robin Hode, and after that gentle knight, that was so bold and stout. 356. Whan they had told hym the case our king understood their tale, and seized in his honda the knighties londas all. 357. All the passé of Lancashire he went both fair and near, till he came to Plompton Park, he failed many of his deer. 358. There our king was wont to say herds many one, he could unneth find one deer, that bare ony good home. 359. The king was wonder wroth withal, and swore by the Trinite, I walled I had Robin Hode, with ein I might hym say. 360. And he that walled smite of the knighties heed, and bringe it to me, he shall have the knighties londas, Sir Richard at the la. 361. I give it hym with my charter, and sell it with my honda, to have and hold for evermore, in all merry England. 362. Then bespake a fair old knight, that was true in his fay. My liege lord the king, one word I shall you say. 363. There is no man in this country may have the knighties londas, while Robin Hode may ride or gone, and be a bowie in his hondas. 364. That he nay shall les his heed, that is the best ball in his hode. Give it no man, my lord the king, that ye will any good. 365. Half a year dwelled our comely king in Nottingham, and well more. Could he not hear of Robin Hode, in what country that he were. 366. But alway went good. Robin by Halke and eke by Hyll, and always slew the kinge's deer, and welt them at his will. 367. Then bespake a prode fostery, that stowed by our kinge's kne, yf ye will see good Robin, ye must do after me. 368. Take 5 of the best knighties that be in your lead, and walk down by yon bay, and get you monk's weed. 369. And I will be your leads man, and lead you the way, and or ye come to Nottingham, mine heed then dare I lay. 370. That ye shall meet with good Robin, on live yf that he be, or ye come to Nottingham, with ein ye shall hym say. 371. Full hastily our king was dight, were his knighties 5, evereach of them in monk's weed, and hasted them thiter blithe. 372. Our king was Greta above his coal, a broad hat on his crown, right as he were abbot like. They rode up into the town. 373. Stibboats our king had on, forsooth as I say, he rode singing to greenwood. The covent was clothed in grey. 374. His mail o'er and his Greta Summers followed our king behind, till they came to greenwood, a mile under the lind. 375. There they met with good Robin, standing on the way, and so dyd many a bold archer, for soth as I say. 376. Robin took the kinge's oar, hastily in that stayed, and said, Sir Abbot, by your levee, a while ye must abide. 377. We be yemen of this forest, under the greenwood tray, we live by our kinge's deer, other shift have not we. 378. And ye have cheese and rance both, and gold full greta plente. Give us some of your spending, for sain charite. 379. Then bespake our comely king, Onone then said. He, I brought no more to greenwood but 40 poundae with me. 380. I have lain at Nottingham, this 14 night with our king, and spent I have full mochi good on many a greta lording. 381. And I have but 40 poundae, no more than have I me, but if I had an 100 poundae, I wald vouch it safe on thee. 382. Robin took the 40 poundae, and departed it in 2 partie. Halfendel he gave his merry men, and bade them merry to be. 383. Full courteously Robin gone say, Sire, have this for your spendi ng, we shall meet another day, gramercy, then said our king. 384. But well thee gretteth Edward our king, and sent to thee his seal, and biddeth thee come to Nottingham, both to meet and mealy. 385. He took out the broad targa, and soon he lead hym say. Robin cooed his courtesy, and set hym on his kne. 386. I love no man in all the world so well as I do my king. Welcome is my lord's seal, and, monk, for thy tiding. 387. Sir abbot, for thy tidinges, today thou shalt dine with me, for the love of my king, under my tristel tray. 388. Forth he lad our comely king, full fair by the Honda. Many a deer there was slain, and full fast ditonde. 389. Robin took a full greta home, and loud he gone blow. 70 of white young men came ready on a row. 390. All they knelled on their kne, full fair before Robin. The king said himself until, and swore by Saint Austin. 391. Here is a wonder seemly sight. Me thinketh, by goddess Pine, his men are more at his bidding than my men be at mine. 392. Full hastily was their diner I dight, and thereto gone they. Gone. They served our king with all their might, both Robin and Lytel Johann. 393. Onone before our king was set the fatty venison, the good white breed, the good reed wine, and thereto the fine ale and brown. 394. Make good share, said Robin, abbot, for charite, and for this ilk tiding, blissed mote thou be. 395. Now shalt thou say what life we lead, are thou hens wendy? Then thou may informe our king, wan ye togider lend. 396. Up they sterte all in hast, their bows were smartly bent. Our king was never so sore aghast, he wendy to have beshente. 397. 2 yerds there were upset, their 2 gone they gange. By fyfty pace, our king said, the merkies were to launch. 398. On every side a rose garland, they shot under the line. Whoso faileth of the rose garland, said Robin, his tequile he shall tine. 399. And yelled it to his maester, be it never so fine, for no man will I spare, so drink ye I ale or wine. 400. And beer a buffet on his heed, iwis right all bear, and all that fell in Robin's lote, he smote them wonder sare. 401. Twice Robin shot about, and ever he cleaved the wand, and so dyde good Gilberte with the white hand. 402. Lytel Johann and good Scathlock, for nothing walled they spare. When they failed of the garland, Robin smote them full sore. 403. At the last shot that Robin shot, for all his friendes fair, yet he failed of the garland 3 fingers and mere. 404. Then bespake good Gilberte, and thus he gone say, Maester, he said, your tequile is lost. Stand forth and take your pay. 405. If it be so, said Robin, that may no better be, Sir abbot, I deliver thee mine arrow, I pray thee, syr, serve thou me. 406. It falleth not for mine ordre, said our king, Robin, by thy levee, for to smite no good yeoman, for do't I should hym grieve. 407. Smite on boldly, said Robin, I give thee large levee, onone our king, with that word, he falled up his sleve. 408. An sich a buffet he gave Robin, to grounde he yede full ne'er. I make mine avow to God, said Robin, thou art a stalworth frere. 409. There is pith in thin arme, said Robin, I trow thou canst well shete. Thus our king and Robyn Hode together gone they meet. 410. Robin beheld our comely king wistly in the face, so dyde Sir Richard at the la, and knelt down in that place. 411. And so dyde all the wild outlaws, wan they say them knell, my lord the king of England, now I know you well. 412. Mercy then, Robin, said our king, under your tristil tray, of thy goodness and thy grace, for my men and me. 413. Yes, for God, said Robin, and also God me save, I ask mercy, my lord the king, and for my men I crave. 414. Yes, for God, then said our king, and Thereupon send I me, with that thou leve the greenwood and all thy company. 415. And come home, syr, to my court, and there dwell with me. I make mine avow to God, said Robin, and right so shall it be. 416. I will come to your court, your service for to say, and bringe with me of my men 73. 417. But me like well your service, I will come again full soon, and showed it the done dear, as I am wonted to done.